spooky!
What's going on, you guys? Jericho20 back with another tutorial here on Disturb Reality, a card trick. This trick took me from a beginner to an intermediate just because it changes the way people see you. It's a very simple trick, very easy. Any beginner can do it, and it will just transform you into an intermediate because when you start showing it to people, they'll be like, whoa, you've gotten a lot better since the last time I saw you do that self-working card trick or whatever. Either way, nonetheless, here it is. You take a card, in this case the Jack of Spades, and you bend it, and you're going to place the card into the middle of the deck. You can let everyone see that. Let everyone see the Jack of Spades into the middle. And we're going to, with the snap of the little tiny fingers, and a little pinch of magic, and if we believe in ourselves, we can make that card jump from the middle to the top of the deck. Let's learn how to do it. So when we want to learn this, it's a simple double lift where you bend two cards at once and you place a fake card in the middle, which they suspect to be the card. But in this case, when I was showing you what I did, I actually used two Jack of Spades. So I was able to show you the card twice. Normally you might not have this option because what are the chances that your spectator picks a duplicate card? But there are times where it does happen, and I'm just letting you know now that if you use a duplicate card, you can make this effect even crazier. But at the same time, this trick usually works with cards that you write on them. So who knows? Start getting, maybe just doing this without the use of the ambitious card. Because the story of the ambitious card is the card is placed in the middle of the deck, and somehow, some way, by whatever shape or miracle, it comes to the top of the deck, but I put it on the bottom because I snapped with my right hand instead of my left, and I'm left-handed, and that's why. This move, the brow pop-up move, the famous pop-up move in Magic, it has a double lift, which, if you are new to Magic, it's two cards at once, and we take these two cards and we bend them together, and then we place it in the deck. Now, I used two Jack of Spades, I used a duplicate card. Here's what it would look like if I decided not to use duplicate cards. So, I take a card, sure it's the Jack of Spades, wow, what are the odds? I take two cards and I show, check it out, 4 clubs. And we bend these two cards as one. There's actually another card behind the 4 clubs. And then I can strip this away, and then I'm holding the real 4 clubs down, and I can show them this bow, but they can't see it. And then we put it in the middle, and then we snap our fingers, and we're holding down to the card with our fingers, and we snap our fingers and let go with our thumbs and fingers and create the illusion that popped up to the top. Now, that was all very quick, so here's the actual real breakdown. I just wanted you guys to understand how it works before we dive into how to do it. With this trick, we'll learn some key angles, and so I wanted to give you a kind of magician's view, you know, over the shoulder from your perspective, what this might look like while you're starting to do it. So the first thing you're going to do is take two cards as one, also known as a double lift. There's a lot of different double lift tutorials out there. A lot of people simply will just riffle through, find two cards, and I can just tell I have two cards right here. And you can do this casually while you're talking to someone. You say, you know, just say their name, be talking. People don't suspect anything weird from riffles. And as you're going, you can just put your pinky right there so you know those two cards are right there. And when it's time, you can show the two cards as one, and they see the 2 of clubs, but behind it is an indifferent card. So that's the basic move of the double lift. We go like that, turn it over, and you're going to take this. What's nice about this kind of delivery is we're going to implement this kind of shovel push forward move. And so the double lift that I normally do is a push off double lift like that. Now I can still go here and readjust my hand grip, but it just looked uncomfortable or busy, or I can show that and then go into bending the card. But what's nice about this kind of beginner way to do it is I have the two cards, and with my thumb pushing down or using it as a fulcrum and kind of pushing forward as my middle and thumb finger rotate over, and I make sure to keep my pinky below these two cards as well. I don't want to turn these two cards over as one and then not go to move one and the card slides. So you always want to keep your pinky beneath both these cards. So just try doing this over and over and over if you really are a beginner, as I talked about in the beginning of this video. So this is an advanced move, but it's being taught for beginners. So get used to your double lift, or start looking at many of the other double lift tutorials here on YouTube. And then once you get to this position, you're going to grip the cards in a biddle grip, as we call it, biddle grip. Thumb down here, and then right ring and middle finger up near the middle or the right edge. Easy control. I should be able to move this card, these two cards, hand in hand, one in one, with very much control. So you move it forward halfway, and now your thumb and your middle finger are gripping down on the card, keeping it balanced. So when you move it forward, you can slide your fingers to the beginning to prevent any unnecessary spacing that may happen. Unlikely, especially given your angles. But if you are really worried, you can push these two cards forward as one and then just slide your fingers to the top. That way it won't prevent any kind of split in the cards. Once you're ready and your thumb and your middle finger holding this down, you take the two cards as one and you bend it forward and you create a bow, not a crimp. A crimp is when you fold the card completely in half and it's ruined. These cards aren't ruined. I can flex them back and they're still just as good as they were before. So you bend these two cards as one, and then you slide the card forward and turn the two cards over as one, putting them in this position ultimately. And I'll give you guys performance advice after the actual breakdown of this, what angles to watch for and stuff like that. Once you're here, you're going to grip half the cards almost in a similar biddle grip, except you only need your thumb down here and your right middle finger up here in this corner, because you're going to push these two cards down as one, and that's ultimately what's going to lock down the second card placement, which is actually the card that we want, the two of clubs, in our spectator's eyes. And we're going to break these cards off halfway, and as I'm stripping this out, my left thumb is keeping that card on top. But did you see how I pulled away but I didn't keep my index finger down? Well, that just ruined the illusion. So I hold this packet down like this. I should be able to just hold this down just like this. And my thumb peels over and my right pointer finger keeps this packet down. I'm very much in control here. And all their attention is on this card anyway. And at this point, you can show it at eye level. Again, I'll show you guys performance tip with a different camera angle in a minute. So you'll be able to show them, and then you can just slowly place these two pieces together very slowly. And then I like to do this nice little hand movement. It kind of shows freedom in the cards while still keeping that top card locked down in place. So that's why I like it. And I always get back to this grip, the final grip, the performing grip. It's basically, you know, you look at it from a scientific perspective. This thumb and this middle finger are keeping this card down. Because if I was holding it any other way, like this, then you can see the bow in the cards. But with this grip, all you have to do is when the time is right is snap your finger and let go with your thumb on that card. And it just slides right off. But I will show you guys a different angle to better master this. Alright guys, now I'm going to show you some performance aspects when thinking about performing this effect to real people. Different angles, different ways to get to the double lift. It doesn't have to be just a traditional simple double lift, go into the move. It can be an interesting creative way to still convince people that you only have one card. So I'll show you some of that as well. But I wanted to go over quickly angles, you know, what to consider when performing this effect. So you have your double lift, let someone see it, And when I usually perform to people, I imagine you, the camera, the person watching at home, is the person I'm performing it to. So what I mean by that is I'm going to go through this with that idea. I'm not going to perform to a profile. I don't want to do this trick with my spectators to my left, right. Behind you is okay. You can do it pretty circulated. But for the best angles I'm talking about it, then you would probably want to do this, just to cover up anything you might be afraid of. So you have your double lift, you've pushed it forward, and I like to bend it towards myself and with the cards straight at them, like this, because this is fine, but what if a bow happens, you know? Bow would be scary. So with this, you're not running that risk of the cards splitting and then really seeing it. Even if the cards split like they are now, or something happens, like the eye's probably not going to catch it, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So you bow it, and then I like to push it, same reason, push it straight forward and rotate it onto itself like that. Because any slippage that could, oops, anything that could go wrong here could ruin the entire illusion. So you get the bow, and then you try to flip it back, but the cards come apart, is what I'm saying. But when it's straight on, the risk is a lot less because they're looking straight onto the card. So then, from here, I will grip the middle of the deck, like we said, with my index finger on top, peel it across, and just kill this hand, kind of, almost, a little bit. Just drop it down, don't focus on it. And then let them focus on that bow. But if you hold it at eye level with them and don't go above their head, they won't be able to see what that card is. And as I'm saying this, I'm delivering it with a kind of method and story of like, look, I'll bend the card so that way when you see it, you'll know that's your card. And as I'm saying that, I'm basically, through talking in my speech and what I'm saying, making them believe that's my card. He just told me. I'll bend the card, okay?
Okay.
So just by the bend alone, you can tell that's the six of spades, right? Your signed six of spades. From here with the dead card down, you can show everyone that so long as it's at eye level. It keeping motion in your hand makes it tougher to try to get a look at that card. So I'll put that right in front of their eyes, like at eye level. So when you see that card, you know that's your card. Here, check it out, take a look at it. And then right in front of whoever card it is when I'll do this. Right in front at eye level, come down and start to, I'll leave my hand, these aren't parallel, they're perpendicular. I'll leave my hand almost parallel so they don't see this bow or this little crimp here. I'll come down like face first, and then as I'm getting down to it, I'll align the cards. Just like this. So now, if I lean these cards toward myself, it doesn't matter if there's a bow in the top card anymore, you probably won't be able to see it, although we do want to leave our index finger keeping that card down. So we square it up, and with this square up, we come to this grip. Being able to hold the card down with your index finger, your thumb on the bottom, your middle finger on top. And from here, you can rotate the cards, keeping your index finger as a pivot point or an anchor or access point the entire time to make sure that card keeps down. So when I let go, it's not going to bow. So I should be able to go down. So now my left hand is gripping it. Now my right hand is keeping the card down. Now my left hand is keeping the card down. Now my right hand is keeping the card down. So when I finally put it into my left hand to make it happen, I'll put the cards right out in front of their face. So after I've done all this mixing and matching, I'll take the cards right out in front of their face. Do it just like that. And then I'll peel away and let them see that card. So again, all this mixing and matching, and then when it's finally time to focus on the part, there's like, no way. And then I like to do this kind of little levitate move where the card's coming through, and then just a snap of my fingers will get it to pop up. Now you can add a little bit of animation to the card by angling your hand a little bit. So if I lean it a little this way, the card's not only going to pop up, but it's going to start spilling off and away. See that? It gives it a nice little touch of like, holy shit, that card really may have just transferred from the middle to the top. I don't think that was the top card. That added movement makes it seem like someone came in and paused time for a minute to make that card move just ever so slightly. It's a nice little touch. It's not needed, but definitely try out what works for you. What do you like? What do you find that your spectators like? And as I'm going through this one last time, I'm trying to bend the cards a little bit forward just to ensure that that top card will in fact pop up, just because I'm schizo. But yeah, do you like it angled where it moves a little bit, or do you like it just coming straight up, you know? And then once you let go with your fingers, kind of spread your fingers out a little bit. No, try to keep them where they were. Try to keep them right where they were, because you don't want to accidentally trick them into the idea that your fingers were holding on to a card, you know? So leaving them right as you left them is probably your best bet. And then you can slowly just take the card and just show them like that. Now, I'll do one quick one from your perspective as the magician, almost in a way, with notes and advice. So we have our double lift. We are going to bend it and place it from the middle, right there. Let everyone take a look at it. Put it in the middle like that. Bring it to eye level with whoever card it is, and damn, that one had some centrifugal force. But look, there's another bow in the cards, which I don't know. Does that give away something? Probably. So be careful. Always make sure you come back to the cards after the fact and bend them back to their correct order, because you don't want too many. You don't want to do the same thing over too many times, or else people are going to figure it out. So that's the normal, standard, simple way that you can go from a beginner to an intermediate right now. And here's a little for the advanced kids. This is a little more fun, or for your beginners too. Advance yourself even that much more. So we are going to try to get our spectator's card to the second position from the top using non-traditional methods or so. So let's say our spectator's card is the Queen of Diamonds. I'm going to do my personal favorite double lift. I suggest you guys to do the same to your own. These are just quick little rundown tips to do it. Let's say your spectator's card is on the top of the deck. Whether it went in the middle and then you controlled it to the top, either way, it's on top of the deck. But you want to do the pop-up move, so you need to get it to be the second card down, right? So what you're going to do is I do a double lift, and then with this double lift, hiding our Queen of Diamonds, I flip over another card. Our Queen of Diamonds is still here. So I flip over two cards, and then I sandwich the Queen in between them, turn them over together, snap, and there's the Queen of Diamonds, and here comes the pop-up move, pop-up-pow. So that's one way. Another way is spectator has a card, they're all looking at it, maybe you just did something cool or interesting and they're reacting to something, or they're just talking amongst themselves and you're ready to do your next trick. They have a hold on their card, you're going to just push this first card off and push it up against your hip. Very casual, just like this. You can be talking, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, that's cool. Hey, let me see that Queen of Diamonds there. I want to show you something interesting. And that's what else is really cool about this. This can be done with any deck of cards. So if someone has something around or whatever and you don't know what to do, everyone should know one really good magic trick. Like, oh wow, that was really quick. Hey, can I see that card really quick? Here, look, I'll take it. I'm going to bend it and I'll put it in the middle of the deck and make it jump to the top, blah, blah, blah. So what you want to do is you're pushing off two cards as one, and then you're going to push it forward a little bit and then bring it back to your hands to catch a break under it. All with keeping the back of your hand to your spectator's eyes the whole time. Always want the back of your hand to your spectator's eyes. So you as the camera, of course, can see it because you know what to look for. But amongst chaos and people talking and you redirecting their attention to something else, it only takes a half a second to flip that card over. So they give you back the card, keep your hand, the back of your hand to their eyes, they give you back the card, and you're going to take their card, let them see it one more time, and place it on top of the deck, face up, but you literally just put it right on top of your second card. So, like, smoothly, you can be like, here, we'll take your Queen of Diamonds, and I'll take it, and I'll bend it. So, nice little illusion there. That is always my go-to move to, like, position for a double lift right away, instead of doing something that might look a little, not common, not like something, that was Chris Angel's thing, is he never wanted to look fancy doing magic. Like, he doesn't do one-handed shuffles or cardistry or whatever. He wants to seem like a normal person. And so, what's the most, like, that doesn't look super normal. If I were to take a card and show it to someone, I would just push it off and let them see it. There's so many different, like, double lifts just kind of look out of place or not natural. So that's what's nice about this, is I can easily take the card. It looks very normal. I won't even do it. I won't even flip the card over. It looks very normal to borrow the spectator's card and be like, here, I'm going to take your card and we'll bend it and I'll put it into the middle of the deck. But that's actually it. That looks very real, and I won't be able to make it jump because I didn't switch it, but it looks so smooth, effortless. And that's what's especially nice about this flip over trick, is so you can do that and do something that looks very natural in putting the card on top just to bend it. And you're going to use the deck anyway, so why not use the card to help bend it? Put it in the middle and pop, jump to the top. A lot of people like doing a double lift like this and then showing everyone, look, I'm going to take it, I'm going to bend it. But that just looks, there's something more professional about doing it this way. This just looks like, oh, I don't really give a shit about my cards or the art. Like, it doesn't look magical. It doesn't look like you're performing. It looks like you're trying something new for the first time. So that's why I recommend doing this hip flip over move. So when you can take it and just do this very, it looks normal, but it also looks like you're presenting something. And then be able to just put it right back. And it all just smooths, rolls over very nicely. Versus like taking a card like this, bending it, putting it back on top. I mean, it's the same thing. There's 1,000 different ways to do the same thing. Let's say they give you their card, Queen of Hearts, you can take it, and when you go to overhand shuffle, you're going to out-jog one card, or you're going to jog one card on top of it, so now it's the second card from the top, 8. And then you're going to jog this second card down like that, leaving a clear-cut signal for you to say, hey, I should pick up those cards in that spot right there. So I can pick those cards up and I can keep shuffling. And then finally, when I get to that break-off point, I can just drop those cards right on top. So it's like, blah, 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 shuffle, 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 snap, and just like that, your card jumps to the top, and then we'll take it, bend it, flip it, reverse it, watch it, smack it, snap it. That's the brow pop-up move. Take you from a beginner to an intermediate magician today. Watch from middle of the deck. Because I said I can do it too.
I was watching that.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Hey, I ain't even.
So that's why I mean, you snap twice, so it's like I gotta go above and beyond. So how about this? Take your jack, and just so you know it's your jack, if the signature is not good enough, let's take it, I'll put it right there in the middle of the pack. The wind might blow it away if this works. No! Alright, you guys, that was the brow pop-up move. Enjoy and appreciate that you are now an intermediate magician. No more beginner stuff and self-helping, self-working card tricks for you. No, you're going to learn to start using skill to entertain your people. So start with that and have fun with the other videos that I show and teach here on Disturb Reality, teaching you advanced, powerful magic incorporated with social dynamics, how to be a magician. It's more than just knowing how to do the mechanics that anyone can do, but what does it take to be a magician? I don't know. I do know, and I can help you on your conquest. I'm Jerk120. This is Disturb Reality. Subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications for when I post videos, because I have the biggest announcement in Disturb Reality history on the brink of being developed, and I'm excited, and you're going to want to hear about it. But the only way you will hear about it is if you hit the little bell to get notified for when I put up new videos. And one of those videos is going to be the announcement that I have in mind in the next couple weeks or so. If you want to get the Disturb Reality playing cards, you can shop for them on DisturbReality.com, along with the mask that you guys saw in the glass table and a handful of other little pieces of Disturb Reality swag. Until next time, be inspired to learn, aspire to disturb, and always